So, it's time for that other game I was talking about, everybody.
Here we go.
Tantrum. I love Tantrum.
Merry New Year and a Happy Chrysler to all. I am going to be doing the second of these games to follow up Another World. I still enjoyed my time in Another World. And, again, to be completely honest, my first experience with Another World was actually having played it at first. And then with Game Grumps, I learned that Danny loved that game. Grew up loving that game. And then... after some time, Game Grumps actually was how I was introduced to this game, because when Danny mentioned that he had played that game and loved Eric Chahi's work, there he is at the top of that game, of this game's team.
Chahi!
Aaron Hansen then mentioned, hey, you know what, I played a game similar to Out of This World, and it also involved that Eric Chahi person. To which Danny was like, oh, well, okay, what game was that? And he's like, well, it was this little game that was on the PlayStation 1. Took it maybe like 4 to 7 years of development because this thing went through development hell. Just a little thing, a little ditty called Heart of Darkness.
I mean, just the heart alone says it all.
So what we know about this game is, first of all, the development hell that this game went through was pretty much what made Eric Chahi like take a hiatus from game development, period. For years later until he finally
also
returned
thank
that
Logan
from
for
dust.
those subtitles.
Yes, I decided if I was going to contribute anything to the gaming world's view on this game, I would at least add some subtitles in. Because I'm going to say right now, you'd be surprised, Matt. The voice cast of this game is actually really well fleshed out.
Oh.
Jeez, look at this guy. He looks like that I Am Mean knockoff's brother.
He looks like oh
boy.
dear.
Also, who does this? What school does this?
Corporate punishment. Also, the other thing he reminds me of now when I look at him, he looks like his creepy uncle would be the Product X delivery man in Food Fight.
Yeah.
Good old PlayStation CGI.
Old
Yeah,
school CG before it was properly
Doggo.
finalized in this day and age. And hey there, Doggo.
They actually used, if anyone here is aware of the company Autodesk, they actually used a very old, they used the original 1990 3D studio to create all this.
Really?
And and if anyone knows, Autodesk had pretty much been in the business of 3D. They're still to this day, their products and engines are used in 3D software.
Come on, buddy, you can make it. Just keep on hoofing it.
Also, are we gonna?
Please.
Is anyone gonna pay attention to the fact that dog is named Whiskey?
Yes.
Yeah.
I named you after why my dad left.
No, eat that fly.
Just.
Thank
Oh,
you.
there you go. I thought you were talking about the boy, and the boy just has a frog tongue that.
Jeez. Whoosh.
Also, you mentioning the whole by the way, never look at any eclipse, people, when we're going to it.
Yeah, love that guy. Love the guy looking into the telescope at the eclipse. He's going to go blind.
Oh.
But no,
What's with those hands?
What was with that R2-D2 screen they sampled? And this is why you don't stare into an eclipse. You will be whisked off screen into the void that lies within.
Oh, poor doggo.
Oh no.
And as I explained, you're not going to believe this. The fact that he was wearing that hat is actually a prevalent plot point as to why that even happened.
I mean, what's so special about that dinky old hat? And for that matter, where did Whiskey go?
He was whisked away to a magical, enchanted
He was
place.
whisked away?
Also, I want to point out,
I literally just said that.
Well, I want to know is that,
the-
what I want to know is that, clearly everyone else was looking up at the eclipse. Why is it only the dog that got whisked away?
Again, there is an explanation for that. You'll see. So as we see here, Andy, first quick little character thing about him is that the reason why he was sleeping in class and he was really terrified of that cabinet is he actually canonically has nyctophobia, the fear of the dark, which is what we're going to correct the power on, and we're going to get ourselves ready to go on our rescue mission with late 90s Jimmy Neutron technology.
Here to the stars with my candy bars.
He got a few lessons from his old friend Johnny Quasar.
Also, can I mention something, please?
Go for it.
Yes.
So, Steve, you're like, PlayStation CGI. I'm like, you take that back. Final Fantasy VIII still looks amazing.
Oop.
Alright.
Well, I mean, I never said it was bad. I was just saying, nostalgia.
Also, apparently, he's got a spaceship, too.
Look at that! Oh, and also, gotta do this. Gotta say this now. Shout out to the composer that did this, that did the score for this game, Bruce Broughton.
Has he done anything else?
He did the Hawaii 5-0.
Oh.
He did Hawaii 5-0, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Oh, so some pretty prolific stuff.
Oh, he also did Tiny Toons Adventures.
That explains it.
Let's see what else he's done. He did a couple episodes. He did a couple of the music for. He did some music for the show Dinosaurs.
Like, you mean the Disney one with the puppets?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
I love that show.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez!
And most recently, you can actually hear his work on Seth MacFarlane's show The Orville, which I have heard is actually a pretty decent Star Trek parody.
Now, well, here's the thing. Season 1 I heard is okay, and, like, it feels like Seth MacFarlane affair. Season 2 and onward I heard is just a really good show.
So that's why I'm hoping that I really want to get into that then.
Oh.
And of course, because it's one of the last things Norm Macdonald did.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, this kid can't catch a break.
I survived, unfortunately.
His front wheels is a skateboard.
I just
Yes.
I just realized that's weird. The airbag didn't go off.
You're a big help, you know that?
So, time to get into the gameplay.
Oh, just like that.
Oh.
Yep. I am going to jump away. So, whoa.
Oh.
Oh boy.
That was
Man, this
close.
is a cool gun. It would be a shame if something happened to it.
Be a shame if I were to die.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, goodbye, Andy.
This is not going to be a perfect.
That's the end of the video. Bye, people.
No, we're going into this further. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be again editing
Whoa.
out.
Whoa.
I'll keep
Nice flip.
some deaths in if they're unique. And oh, that's a problem.
Oh boy.
So
Didn't mind that one in particular.
welcome to the Darklands, where shadows. This is only really shown off like this. It's only really interacted with like a few times, but
Oh, boy.
you got to be careful
Oh.
about shadows, and of course these little dark shadow critters.
Oh, come on, man. I just wanted a big ol' hug.
Wait for it.
Do you know how lonely it gets out here?
I have no one else to speak to but my own shadow. It sucks.
Oh Lord.
And all my other
I am
shadow
my own
friends.
shadow.
So, another thing that's worth noting is this game actually has difficulty sliders. But it's a standard like easy, normal, and hard. From what I've heard, the difficulty slider really only changes how many enemies you'll be facing at once and how aggressive they'll be fighting.
Uh-huh.
So,
Is this hard?
this is normal difficulty. It starts on
Oh
normal.
wow.
I could have put it on easy, but I thought, to get the full experience, I better start on normal.
Oh, does easy mode lock you out of the rest of the plot?
No. Thank goodness, no. Literally the only difference is how all you're determining, James, is how big of a headache you'll have at the end.
Fair.
We
Would
call
you
that
re-
Honestly,
accessibility.
I think it would be a headache just to play this thing.
So
I'm
would
gonna
you-
say right now the end. Go ahead.
I was just gonna joke about like how big of a headache it's. It's like, so player, would you like to have a migraine at the end, or would you like to be in a coma at the end?
Please sign this waiver. I mean, okay, say what you want. I love the animations of the sprites and what they're doing with.
Oh,
this.
the animation is amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, it's great. Like, from what
Ooh.
I've seen so far. Like,
Oh,
this is
double jump.
very, like, ahead of its time.
Absolutely. Kill these freaking two silly.
I mean,
villains.
granted, the late 90s were full of these types of games which are rich in, like, 2D animation. Even though some of them are a little jank about it.
Don't shoot him. There's to get back to a little bit of with Another World. The other problem is that it is still mostly based on trial and error stuff. Oh,
Oh, bo.
Most especially when we did with, fucking...
Look at that. Oh, the god.
Bye.
Job of Shadow.
Gun.
Oh.
he ate the gun.
Oh, crap.
And our
And,
helmet.
and the helmet.
Are
And
we
now
going
we
to-
just run.
I was gonna say, how are we gonna defend ourselves now?
We don't.
We don't run.
Run, but take your time going across here.
Even the Shadow Demon's the courteous type like that.
I'm gonna get ya.
Oh, we'll say right now. Oh,
Okay, now we can run up.
light.
Oh.
Light
Oh.
kills them. And actually, that's an interesting thing to note, Hyde, because it'll play a role later. Whenever you get to little tippy toe sections like that, you need to walk. Otherwise, if you try to press the run button and run, you will fall right through it.
I will say it is very considerate of the shadow creature to like match his pace with yours.
Oh yeah,
that
that's a
fall not
class.
hurt him.
No fall damage, thank goodness. And also, it is very appreciative. It's a classic Eric Chahi trick to make it feel tense by by like slowing whenever they spawn on screen, so it feels like they're right at your heels.
You know, I could, realistically keep up my pace and get him, but he's having a bad day. I'm gonna give him a freebie.
It's having fun with the chase. Now, really quick, a very important thing to note is whenever you're climbing on these walls, you need to jump, which probably I'm going to do that to dislodge this.
Whee!
How convenient.
Whenever you jump from one wall to the other, whenever you release it to jump, make sure you press and hold the button down immediately, because so long as the button is held, speaking of grab...
Oh, you would have got eaten.
Oh, yeah. So, like, basically, if you keep the button held down, that'll be what will trigger, and that'll be what triggers Andy's grabbing back onto the wall. Again, it's like once you learn the mechanics, there is some really cool stuff going on here. But I will agree with Matt that the trial and error design that Another World had is pretty much cranked up to 11 in this game in some pretty bad ways.
Yeah, there we go.
But hang on,
Is that where the heart is?
Nope.
I'll take that as a no.
sorry, dude. And oh hey,
Oh,
What the fuck?
hand it over.
he's a little minion dude for the big bad master of darkness.
Is he in the center of the vault?
There was. Yep, he's very right there. That down there would be the heart of darkness itself.
Okay, because I was about to say, it's like, is he above the tornado? He is the tornado.
I should have said all doom. Sometimes the subtitles be a little bit off. Apologies.
No worries.
Ouch.
You know, I'll say
the
for
heck is
for
going on
early
with
PS1 animation, like this guy isn't actually animated too bad.
Well, how early are we talking here? Like, when did this game come out?
Logan?
What do you mean?
James wanted to know what year this came out.
I'm
1998.
checking.
1998. 1998.
Okay, so it was roughly, it was right around the middle of the console's lifespan.
Yep. Also, and as you're seeing right there, that's why the hat was important, because he was wearing the hat, they mistook whiskey for Andy.
Oh.
That's why they had him in the first place. And
I mean, sure, never mind the fact that he runs on all fours and is covered in furs. No, it's the hat. The hat is the big tell here.
well, that's a bad wall.
That ain't a wall.
Oh. So fun fact, the voice of the professor at the very beginning, the sleeping in my whatever that class, and who was just voicing the big hefty guy there, that is a Mr. Brian Bowles. As James and I now know him as, he is the current voice of Asterix in the video games.
Hey.
And he was also in Dragon Quest VIII, it looks like, as a Mr. Mori. And and he was also the villain in Jumping Flash. Way back when.
Fucking Baron Aloha.
Yep, that was him.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez!
Oh, you're boned.
Yep, that would be that. But yeah, beyond that, like I'm starting to now look into the voice cast because they got a lot of big name people big name at the time for what they were doing.
Woo!
The servant, that pink like elephant. By the way, make sure to duck into the water, otherwise it'll grab you.
Do you have an ear mirror to worry about when you're down there?
Only when you're swimming. Careful. The person who was playing the servant, the master guy, that was N. Reitel, who is first of all the most recent modern iteration of Scrooge McDuck in the video games.
Well, at least for Kingdom Hearts 3.
True. He played Alfred in the Batman Enemy Within series.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was also in like the previous Telltale season as well.
Oh, that's cool. And trying to think if I can find anything else he's really done. By the way, here's a little bit of an annoying puzzle, but I must do it. hit this little bubble thing, which will release a bunch of fireflies because it'll distract these Venus flytrap things, like as you're seeing there. Oh, and another fun little thing for you, Matt, to feel emotionally conflicted over. The voice of that little pink elephant guy was in the Tintin movie.
As who?
He was Nestor the butler, and the guy who,
Oh!
and the guy who's selling the ship at the very beginning. Like, hey, okay, whatever you just paid, I'll double it. Double.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Okay. To be
And,
fair, the voice actors are okay. Just and the animation is nice. The designs suck. I'm not going to lie, but yeah.
I can't help but I need to like give some props to like what is going into this, but I 100% understand why it is frustrating.
Oh,
Why the trial and error stuff can be because the problem with this is yes, it's trial and error, but whereas another world would typically restart you right close to the screen where you died, sometime with this game you can respawn at a checkpoint. Ow! Like sometimes you'll respawn at a checkpoint and it's been like 10 to 15 minutes of progress lost. If you're not careful.
Yeah.
Like, it can be very bad at some of the encounters with enemies.
So in general, it's just a lot less generous and forgiving.
Yeah, which again, I imagine it's because they're trying to make up some of the playtime because otherwise this game will take me longer than another world to beat, but you can still beat this in an afternoon if you know what you're doing. Grab this!
Oh boy.
Wow.
Okay, we are good to go. Let's go this way. As
Watch
far as
out, because the big man cometh.
Oh.
do not stop. So I looked into it. The Master of Darkness, who sounds like a villain I would have heard in those. His voice reminds me of like a villain's voice. Of all things, hear me out. It sounds like a character I would have heard in the Ronald McDonald's cartoon videos, but he's voiced by a Mr. Bill Mitchell, and as far as I can tell, he's never been played by anyone else. Or I should say, Bill Mitchell's never done anything else.
Oh.
Save that guy with some light, and thus we will meet
What
a weird
the
fellow.
hell?
Oh, these things.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
You know,
boy.
The funny part is it's hard to tell which of those two expressions look more cringe. Kind of looks like a rejected Rayman character. I see him.
Yeah, like I can kind of see him. You know what? You say that. Is it wrong that I can see him fitting in right well with that short-lived Rayman animated series?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Amigo. He is he's the buddy Microbas of this world. He is played by Dan Russell.
Is that a name I should be familiar with?
Oh jeez.
Oh.
To Matt and James, he is Richard Watterson from Amazing World of Gumball, the father.
Hey! That makes so much goddamn sense!
Oh.
Well, he sounds about as stupid.
Hey, that's not nice. Okay, I'm just gonna go back up to the surface now, so I don't.
Oh!
Okay, maybe not do that.
Okay, let's go down into the water
Ow.
instead. The surface is overrated.
Let's just hope this boy can breathe for longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's all go to the surface. I mean, you remember
What
the
the-
overrated song.
So we need that, because that's actually going to give us an incredible power for practically 80% of this game. 90% of this game, sorry.
So pretty much the
and-
entire game.
Mostly, yes. So, good news, bad news actually. There's a lot of bad news, isn't there? Bad
Yeah.
news, we cannot breathe as long, we cannot hold our breath for 10 minutes. Good news, we can hold our breath longer than we could in another world. So, you're almost never really going to be worrying about air. Like, the puzzles themselves are short enough to finish them, but
That's
I'm
relief.
out of here. Can't go back the way we came. So now we have a new
Wow.
ability, the, I guess I'll refer to it as the Light Energy Blast.
Oh, what the?
You do tap it quickly to shoot arms like this. Press and hold the triangle button to charge and release a massive blast.
Can I say where on? Well, I can't say God's green Earth because this isn't even green Earth. But
Matt,
where did we get this from?
The energy rock that we touched when we were underwater.
Oh,
It just happened really quick earlier, but by touching the rock, we got zapped, and then like bam, now we can solve a
Yep.
couple of physics puzzles with these seeds. Because this light energy blast can fill the energy. Do not go into the water if you do not like leeches, and this will allow us
ideally.
to cause little puzzles and things. Yay!
Also, yes, enjoy having a superpower, kid. And just barely reacting to it.
Yeah, there really should have been a cutscene of him going like, wow! Like, 'cause he says wow for so many other things.
I mean, it's funny thinking about it, because the dude's clearly a boy genius, so maybe it's just one of those things where it's not as,
Doesn't phase him, like he's not like into
it doesn't
like,
phase him as much as it would most other kids.
Oh, so he's a
Okay,
nerd.
up for air.
Yeah, exactly. He's a nerd!
Oh.
I guess I could ask real quick, between this and Another World, which do you think has the smoother control?
So they're both kind of different in their own way. Like, I feel, well, first of all, as you're seeing here, like, again, hear me out, Matt. I would love if this got an anniversary edition that could do a couple things. One, increase the checkpoint leniency, and B, just I would love to see this like a little better animated, because since this is running off of a PlayStation 1, go up so I don't get sucked in. Because I'm running off of that, I will say that movement-wise, it can be a little clunkier when you're changing directions than in Another World. But I think the jumping is a lot more responsive than in Another World. That, and I'll also agree that I like the combat a bit more, because the combat is more so just, blast a bunch of, like, mooks that are running towards you, as opposed to, as you saw in Another World, where I actually have to start doing some real strategic, it gets very frantic very quickly.
Gotcha.
I will say though, Logan, you are now on a list somewhere. I'm sorry, I'm not the one who decides these things. You're on a list for saying that.
For saying what? That this game feels okay, or that it's better than Another World in some areas?
Yes.
I will also say this: the environment design, the music, this looks pretty freaking awesome compared to even some of Another World's graphics. And because fun fact, Eric Chahi and the team, I can rattle off little facts about this for a while, as long as I have the Wikipedia open. Is that apparently they opted to not even careful. They opted to not even use any they didn't use any prefab textures. They handmade all these textures for the all the 3D modeling, all the little environment sprites.
That's fair. Which, I mean, for what it's worth, they're not... Say whatever you will about how goofy the characters look. I'd say the environment designs are pretty solid.
I think there's some good
environment is fine. The environment looks good.
I think there's some good ambience too.
Oh. Well, you officially got sucked.
Jeez.
No.
Honestly, another thing I'd say that I think, oh boy, that I think
get ready for some brutal deaths in some cases. This game does not hold back. Continue.
Going back to that idea of an anniversary release, giving the game some much needed quality of life improvements, I will agree with that. Something I would like to see, I don't know how people would fare with this opinion, but considering how a lot of the in-game stuff like this actually looks, it looks fairly nice. I'd argue it almost kind of looks almost 2D compared to the cutscenes. What if you just remade the entirety of it, even the cinematics, just with full hand-drawn 2D?
I would not be against that.
It would be cool. It would definitely be very, labor-intensive, but I definitely would like to see where that would go.
Some consistent style, and again, giving it some better accessibility in the difficulty department would be appreciated. Whee! Come on. Load the next stream. There we go. That's right.
There you go.
Let's see, that's right, because we're about to get to one of the larger. Oh
boy.
We're about to get to one of the larger multi-room puzzles. It doesn't happen too often, so first we got to get rid of that guy, stun him. Get this going. So, okay, Matt, I know I don't believe you had mentioned really doing much with Another World. What is your experience? What's your exposure with this game? Because you were very adamantly nope, don't do this.
Nope.
I will admit this. I learned about the game from the completionists and Cat Icarus. They did a video on it, and they said that it wasn't a good game. It was a bad game. I was like, okay, so I decided to try it myself. I maybe played about 30 minutes, and then I was like, I'm done.
Dang.
Yeah.
Y'all are sissy. No, I'm sure they're not. I'm sure it's not for everybody. Push this rock and then immediately swim away because the leeches are coming.
The leeches cometh.
And the leeches are coming with the night. Oh lordy, here they come. I mean, again, it's the trial and error thing, and yes, they do get somewhat of the excuse of, hey, you have infinite lives to continue, so what's even the point? Well, it's because now I'm losing the one thing I can never get back, which is time.
Yep, because that's
Yeah.
pretty much how it. That's pretty much what we
Why
are.
am I
losing
here,
in.
Logan?
That was close.
I'm wasting time.
You're here to churn butter.
I thought it was the
Yes,
pass
I-
butter.
I shall churn the thigh butter. No, I don't know. Push
I was
this
about to
down.
say, like, you say that the whole thing of, like, why am I here? It's like, you didn't have to join us.
I forcibly told him he was going to join this.
Well, what was
Yes.
his incentive? Well, here's the thing, like, you told him that, but again, there's, like, what incentive did you give him to stick to his promise? Because, realistically, nothing's stopping him from just being all like, yeah, you guys have fun, and then just not join the call.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
fair
doesn't matter.
point.
Case in point.
What the fuck? Welcome back.
He's back.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say he should be here
Oh,
to,
no.
to
Ooh.
Oh, geez. Well, wow.
Damn.
They made
That's
short
visceral.
work out of poor Randy.
And yes, for those wondering, that would have put me back a little bit. Not all the way. There are some checkpoints mid-puzzles, but it did almost have me have to go back and do the whole sprite thing again. But continue.
I say he should be here to uphold his point.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Stand by what he's got. Stand by what he's seeing. Stand by what he believes and actually watches this game be played as opposed to reviewed in a YouTube video where the guy's probably only played like 10 minutes and then said, I'm done. There's a video on it.
It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
got
yeah.
60
No,
odd
no,
in it, baby.
definitely. The completionist only
Oh,
played
if I
10
know
minutes.
if I know the completionist for one thing, it's freaking half-assing and passing.
I know him for
Uh-huh.
only two things: never completing a game and bringing to light Donkey Kong's electoral campaign.
Yeah.
But no, like, seriously, people have, like, claimed, like, hey, you don't complete the game. No, his entire thing is to complete fucking games.
So I will say,
Unless he calls a mulligan for whatever reason, namely with Crash 4's Bob relics.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To be
I
fair, the
agree
Bob
with
relics aren't
that.
technically required to, like, full completion.
Well, even if it's not required, he still does complete games. But even then, certain games, yeah, I don't blame him calling a mulligan.
Oh yeah, no, didn't he end up getting blisters on his fingers for trying to attempt them? Or am I thinking of
That
something
and
else?
Caddy.
Right.
It was Caddy as well.
Caddy lost his fingers. Keep
And
him
his
why not?
arms. And part of his head.
Why do I
His
hurt?
head. How do I hurt? Exactly. Now we have some obstacles here. So again, take out these guys here, and then if I position myself right over here, I should be able to safely.
I just realized these guys. Oh, okay. You know what? I was listening to the sound design for a moment there. I almost thought they were given fucking monkey sound effects.
No, some of them do. Like the deep ones, like the like they definitely have like they're definitely doing some sampling. Also, as you're seeing,
At some point, I
100%
expect fucking Diddy Kong to make a cameo as one of the shadows.
I will
Giant
100%.
Dark Diddy Kong.
Fuck
I
that
will-
fight for the record.
I still hear him. There he is. I will also 100% say, because you are seeing it, sometimes the combat is very annoying a lot because the enemies have an AI where like they look all cool and animated and stuff, die.
There you go.
But they also have this AI that allows them to, act all like, mischievous and and they'll jump and duck under your shots. And there is no pattern or rhyme or reason to when they will stop doing that. So you could literally be there just spamming it for like 30 seconds and it won't hit anyone because they're still programmed to be dodging it.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, that I can agree is very frustrating. I wish there was a
This
better...
is a shitty game.
Oh. Oh,
That's
thanks,
Amigo.
amigo.
Thank you, amigo. Close enough.
I think he just only says he's just saying these words because he likes saying them.
Surprising?
Yeah, he's a surprise. Welcome to the one thing that I could maybe say. Maybe Eric Chahi knows. Maybe did a little bit offensively. They treat Spanish like it's an alien language.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Oh, cool, an upside down island. But like that's it. Like that's it. It's like they're just saying
Floating
Casamigos, and that's it.
island. Where are you talking? An upside down island.
Because this.
That's why.
Because it says upside down.
Oh. Okay, fair.
Okay.
I
Grab me
forgot
out of
about
whack
that.
here.
Trust me, Matt. I had to listen to this audio way too much, and I still feel like there is still one line I feel like I really didn't. I couldn't quite tell what was being said. We passed it already though, so.
You know what? I need to ask, on your personal opinion, between this guy and Jar Jar Binks.
This guy 100 times. This guy could kick that dude's ass and wouldn't even be close. Number
Wait.
one, he can fly, and number two,
Well, I was about to say,
his
like-
voice is not as deep. Or his
To be
voice
fair-
is deeper. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, like, you didn't let James answer the question. For all you know, the question might have been who you thought was more annoying.
Oh, I thought you were saying who would I be roommates with? Go ahead, James. Then what was your question?
I mean, honestly, yeah. Which do you think is better?
This guy is better. Just in terms of it, I'd also think it's because he's also on screen less than Jar Jar. So.
That's fair.
Whoa!
Oh no, you don't.
Oh,
We know eat meat. That's why he tried to eat arm earlier.
yeah. He was just a dummy.
That's for me. I'm starved. I could eat a horse.
You're going to eat the sacred forbidden apple.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
just
it's
about to
gonna
say,
last food.
don't go pulling an Adam now, Andy.
Share horse.
Yeah, he's like, I can eat a horse. Share a horse? Nope. And
Wait
use
a
the power of the
minute.
light.
What are you doing? What?
A giant
Apples
apple
for
tree.
all.
Hey!
See, we're a good folk.
Horse for everybody!
Grab 'em all.
God, this animation.
Horse tree.
It's so beautifully jank.
I don't like these things.
I mean, to be fair, didn't this came out just a little bit before the movie Ants, didn't it?
I think I'm around like the same year.
Uh-oh.
This guy's.
Then
Oh, you okay?
hold on. Also, I'd like to know Final Fantasy VII came out a year prior and still looked better.
Yeah, but did it have voice acting?
Shut up.
Anyway, they're about to go now. Talk to the grand head honcho, who the wise elder.
Also, guys, play Oddworld. Like, if you want
Well,
to play Oddworld.
Yeah.
it
play
is still
Oddworld.
our plan to do so. I want to do new and tasting. I want to do Soulstorm.
Oh, I'm saying to the people watching, play Oddworld.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming you haven't already.
I have to see what the head honcho must say. Tell us your lesson.
I don't know.
Good stuff. Also, fun fact about the head honcho.
I did
Oh.
not need to see. Oh.
Also, fun fact about the head honcho here. He is voiced by a William Vanderpue, P-U-Y-E at the end of the name.
Oh, jeez.
That name
Well,
does
what
sound
about
familiar. Could you, refresh us on him?
He has voiced Patches in every Souls game from FromSoft.
Oh.
Oh!
That
Ah, kill him! Kill him! Don't trust his words! Kill him!
So for those watching this right now that have absolutely no Souls experience in their life, who is Patches?
He's usually an untrustworthy fellow. He's basically like one of the...
Oh,
Wait a
Hello.
minute.
You know, they're...
wrong dream.
Oh, dude.
Honestly, I don't know why that wrong dream just reminds me of one of my favorite lines from 30 Rock, where Kenneth, who's like a prophesized being of God and all of that in the show's universe. It's even hinted he's immortal. Like, he goes like, he's trying to show these files, and it goes like, oh, sorry, that's from my dream journal, and it's like a giant kaiju monster destroying a city, and it goes like, they've all come real so far.
Oh,
You
Oh,
had
okay,
to say
right.
something, you idiot.
But yeah, Patches is a character who... Think of him like Sid from Final Fantasy. He always makes some appearance in in most of FromSoft's games.
Ah, okay.
And he's usually a untrustworthy fellow, and yeah, who knew? Let's hurry!
Remember,
Alright.
never trust a honcho.
Alright, head honcho's getting out of there, and whoa.
oh.
Yeah.
my shin!
He was literally choking him.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're about to watch some actual hell break loose here. Like, these guys do not mess around.
Clearly, like, Jesus.
Man,
Grab him, hold him so
Like-
you can get blasted.
Oh!
Dude, not cool. We had him first.
And then there's this guy who just freaking kamikazes the freaking hut. Kaboom! It's freaking nightmarish. But the greatest nightmare of all for Matt is, we're not done yet.
Oh! Hello.
Well, that's a
Alright.
cliffhanger.
So join us in the next part, everybody, as we are going to be tackling all of Disc 2's content. And for those who can already maybe see it in the playlist at some point later, yes, it is almost twice as long as this video.
Oh, great.
It does not have as many cutscenes, but it makes up for it in gameplay. Stay tuned.
Till next time, everybody.
Shahi!
Bork.